Friends, this is Mutlaki Sibego. I haven't spoken to you in a while now, and this is because in about a week plus ago, I had a bit of an attack which presented itself as a mild stroke, and as such, I needed to go for therapy with my face particularly being affected quite a lot more. But we thank God that all of that is now in the past, and we can continue to talk about words of wisdom pertaining to the great and eternal issues of reality. In the book of Genesis chapter 1, we find narrated there the story of creation, which we believe was written by Moses. So the biblical version of the creation story begins by telling us about the state of the world before God created all things, all the way up to verse 26. See the light, we see the water on the surface, the spirit on the surface of the waters, we see the separation of the land from the waters, we see the vegetation growing, we see the fishes in the waters, we see animals on the land, we see the creepy crawlies, but we also see the stars up there in the sky, the moon, and we also see darkness. Now all of these things, as they continue to be introduced one by one, there is a statement that God keeps saying. He says, and behold, this was good. The second day, behold, this was good. The third day, on and on, until it gets to the sixth day, in which large animals are created. I presume your elephants, your zebras, your lions, your hyenas, your rhinos, and so forth. And then in the afternoon of that day, God, according to the book of Genesis, scooped the very dust of the ground and formed in fashion the beautiful body of a man, breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. This is how a human being came into being. So all things were first created, all things were made, and it comes as though they were all made for him, so that when he comes, he is able to consume that which has been made. So it looks. But I also find, when I observe, is that all these things were first made because they were going to form part and parcel of the material that makes a human being. In other words, the light was necessary, otherwise where would the sense of sight come from? In other words, the waters were necessary, otherwise where would the tears and the sweat come from? They say 70% of our bodies is water, and so it is necessary, it was necessary that there is water first before man is made. The vegetation was important, otherwise where would the hair grow from? And so the animals were also important, otherwise where would the adrenaline come from? Where would the locomotion come from? And then finally, verse 26 says, let us make man in our own image. Here is God speaking to himself in plural and not in singular. He is singular, speaking in plurality, and says, let us make man in our own image. So a plurality is that all things that God had made, he brought them together in one, and a human being was born. And here, it's important to note that while he brings all things together to form a human being, he also gets involved in that he breathed into the nostrils of man his own breath, God himself, the essence of God, the DNA of the Creator in the human being. So we have the DNA of nature, we have the DNA of trees, of water, of land, of light, and the DNA of God. It's important that I stress this part. We have the DNA of God in us. Therefore, the universe is not separate from us, and we're not separate from the universe. If you see the sun shining far away, it doesn't mean that it is far away. The sense of light relates, the sense of sight relates to the light that you see shining up in the sky. The fact that you see a beautiful palm tree pointing its finger to the sky doesn't mean that it stands there in all its beauty and splendor and separate from you. You are part of it and it is part of you. Hence, you have hair that grows on your skin. The beautiful zebra and all its stripes that you see galloping up there in the grass, in the fields, in the savannah, doesn't mean that its beauty is far away from you. It is part of you and you're part of it. Its senses and its instincts and its adrenaline, all of those things are part and parcel of who you are. And so when you think about the creative power of the creator of the entire universe, and you think that are separate from that, think again, because he, the creator, is part of you. You are part of him. He is in you. Hence, he breathed into your nostrils his breath of life. And therefore, you have within yourself the creative power. Where do you think artists find the ability to write songs? Where do you think a poet learns how to write songs? Where do you think an orator is able to speak and baptize his words in languages that belong to various cultures? Where do you think that a sculptor is able to sculpture a sculpture? Where do you think that an artist can learn, or a sporting person can learn to be creative in whatever they do? It is because God has planted in us the creative power. And so when we relate to the universe and the universe relates to us, it is because we are part of it. There's no separation between you and the skies. There's no separation between you and the clouds. There's no separation between you and the ground. There's no separation between you and the trees. There's no separation between you and the animals. There's no separation between you and the waters of the seas. It is because you are made of everything that was made first. It is the substance of who you are, and you are the substance of everything. It sees you, it relates with you. You see it, you relate with it. This is why the environment, therefore, is important. You need water to bath, okay? You need horses to ride on if you have to get there faster. You need the grass, the fields. You need the plants to eat. You need the universe, and the universe needs you. We are one with all that is created, and it is one with us. We plant the spinach and you water it every day because it is in you and you are in it, and you need it to continue to sustain yourself and to continue to live. Therefore, let's learn to take care of the environment. Let's understand we are one and the same with the environment. We are part and parcel of the creation of the Creator. Let us understand that there is no separation between us and all that is made. So the concept, the African concept of Ubuntu, comes from the fact that everything is because I am, and I am because everything is. I am because you are, and you are because I am. My friends, we will end here for today. Let us get together again next time. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.